What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Panthers rebuild. This is life without Cam Newton. Because we ain't got Cam, we got to rock with Jimmy Clausen, who they drafted in the second round or draft right before they picked up Cam Newton. So far, we have gotten to the playoffs, but with Matt Moore as our starting quarterback and Jimmy Clausen as our backup quarterback. Jimmy Clausen's first year as the starter was the year right after that, and we ended up going 6-10, missing out on the playoffs, kind of similar to how Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers went. Of course, Brett Favre took the Packers to the NFC Championship game. Next year, Rodgers took over, went 6-10. But then that following season, we got back to the playoffs. We beat Arizona in the wild card round, and we ended up losing to the Saints in the divisional round. So Jimmy Clausen's having a pretty good start to his campaign as the starting quarterback. You know what I mean? But we have to try to get to that Super Bowl now. So we have the next 2 seasons, and then this will be over. I want to keep these to 2 episodes, so I already have another one planned, and I think you guys are going to like it. I haven't really seen nobody else do it on YouTube, so I hope it goes well. Anyways, man, you can see that we are signing some coaches, some coordinators, and we're going to make a change at head coach. John Fox is still available. We're not going to go that route. We're going to go with who I think is Mike Vrabel. That's right, Mike Vrabel. He gives our left outside linebackers a bunch of boost, and that is a needed position because I believe Thomas Davis is right side linebacker, and of course Beeson, he is the inside linebacker. So Jonathan Stewart, we got to resign, man. He wants a buttload of money. A buttload of money, okay? He's 6 years. I believe the deal is close to $60 million, so he's getting an average around $10 million per year. But we have to keep him because right now at 93 overall, he is the best running back on the roster. That's right. At this point in his career, he has already passed up D'Angelo Williams. So we end up re-signing him. We got to re-sign some other guys as well. Steve Smith, you know we got to keep him around. He is the Carolina Panther in my opinion. So you know we got to keep him around. He accepts our offer, and of course we gotta make that Super Bowl run for Steve Smith. Get him that ring, you know what I mean? So our man Jeff, our right tackle, he is one of our best offensive linemen overall wise, so we have to keep him as well. This was the first offseason where we really had to spend a whole bunch of money on a lot of players. You see that we have plenty of cap room, but if Jimmy Clausen keeps on balling the way that he's balling, we're gonna have to pay him. And you know how these quarterbacks are, man. These quarterbacks, they want a buttload of money. So right here, I'm debating if we want to keep Brown around. He's 83 overall. We have an 80 overall right end that's backing him up. I'm like, you know what? Let's keep him around. Let's have some depth when it comes to our defense line position. Cunningham, our tight end, who we drafted alongside our starting tight end, he is also a free agent, so we re-signed him. We want to go after Todd, okay? We need a left guard. Our left guard retired to a career-ending injury, so we want to keep our offensive line looking good and playing well. So we sign him, or we try to sign him. He is the best left guard, best player in free agency, so you know that we want to sign him. Joey Porter, if we were to make this realistic, he's somebody who's a veteran who I would have come in just to rush the passer, you know, give him a nice little contract for 2 years, see if he can help us get to the Super Bowl. He's a veteran. He's been to the bowl before. So I figure, you know what, let's give him a contract that's, I think, favorable to him and favorable to us. We have Murphy. Murphy, when we sign him, he is going to be a very, very expensive fourth corner, but he is actually going to take the position of Chris Gamble, who was our number 1 corner, but because of, you know, the time in this franchise, he is actually now going to be one of our lower corners. He's going to be 3rd this year, and then moving on to the year number 5, he is going to be our 5th corner. So we end up signing 2 left side linebackers who are not Joey Porter, but I figure with Vrabel being our head coach, he can help those guys out. So in this year's draft, we want to fill some holes. So right outside linebacker, I want to fill that hole. I ended up putting him as our starting left outside linebacker, and we had Thomas Davis stick at that right side. Him and Beeson, when we do nickel, those are 2 guys on the field right there. We also got to re-up our cornerback position. You guys know the Saints have been killing us. Drew Brees is 99 overall. They still got Colston. They still got Jeremy Shockey. So they have just been lighting us up year in and year out. So that's why we have so many corners, and why I keep on drafting corners, trying to shut down that Saints pass game. Atlanta with Matt Ryan, they're doing their thing in their passing game as well. So I definitely want to try to shut those guys down. So this is our second to last pick in the draft round number 6, pick number 27. We're looking at this strong safety right here. We end up taking Shepard. So I'm not too disappointed in this draft. I feel like we found some players that are going to step up and do their thing. Our first pick, Randall, our outside linebacker, he is definitely going to step up and do his thing in year number 1. So there goes our roster. O-line isn't bad, you know what I mean? It was better, I think, starting off, but that left guard at 89 overall, Todd, he is actually a big upgrade at that position. So defense is still looking good. Thomas Davis, he has been in his prime for a long time, still up there in the high 80 overalls. He also has not been hurt, which is a great sign for us moving forward. Hopefully he can be that dude. So we're gonna sign, not re-sign, but we're going to sign Matt Hasselbeck, and we're also going to sign Ted Gibbs Jr. Ted Gibbs Jr., of course, is going to be that deep threat, and of course that punt returner, kick returner guy. And Matt Hasselbeck, he's a veteran backup to help Jimmy Clausen help us take that next step. So when we left the preseason, our man Beeson, he has a broken jaw. So that sucks, obviously, right? But we're playing pretty well this season, man. We lose to the Saints. What else is new? Even though in week 1 we did beat them 17-13, they come back and beat us 17-7. You see that Matt Hasselbeck, he had some playing time as well. Jimmy Clausen struggling just a little bit with 5 TDs and 6 interceptions. The rushing game, we only have 1 TD on the ground. We have about, we have 5 passing TDs, and we have 2 guys out for the season, right tackle, our backup right tackle, and then a D tackle as well. So right now we're sitting 3rd in the NFC. We're behind the Falcons and we're behind the Lions, but we're in front of the Vikings and the Saints, which is big, and the Cardinals and the Giants round up the top 7. So, all right, so we end up simming the rest of the season. We have 3 guys now on IR. We also have a couple of guys that are going to be out for the first week of the playoffs as you check out the season stats. Defense played pretty well. Don't really have the number of interceptions that I want from our cornerback position, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'll take those numbers. Jonathan Stewart finished the year with 8 TDs, and of course Steve Smith had 92 receptions. That led the team. The Colts, the Jaguars, the Browns, the Chargers, the Texans, and the Jets, they make it for the AFC. We're the number 1 seed. 12-4, Minnesota 2nd, Atlanta, Washington, New Orleans, and San Francisco. San Francisco won the division at 6-10. Yeah, 6-10. So anyways, we move on to the wild card round. The Chargers beat the Texans, Saints over the Redskins, the Jaguars beat the Jets, and the Falcons over the 49ers to wrap up wild card weekend. So for the divisional round, we have a home playoff game. The playoffs or the Super Bowl comes through us, man. We're the number 1 seed. We win this game. We have the championship game at the crib. No Drew Brees. He's out with a broken hip, believe it or not, but they still have a bunch of weapons out there for the Saints, man. So already they are in our territory. Looking downfield with Tom, takes a shot to left side to Pierre Thomas out of the backfield. Super Bowl MVP in part 1 of this rebuild, and he gets it into the end zone through the air. 7-0. The Saints get back the ball, and they are going to take it to the crib. That is Hobbs, 10-5, touchdown Saints, and just like that, we are down 14-0 in what should be our year. Jimmy Clausen has stepped his game up. Everybody has stepped their game up. Number 1 seed in the NFC, but for whatever reason, we just still struggle versus the Saints, no matter who's at quarterback. When the final fell right there, big time catch, move those chains. 2nd and 1 to the end zone, gonna find Houston, who was one of our first draft picks in this rebuild back in part 1. He makes a huge reception right there. 14-7. We have him wide open. Houston in the Saints territory. Down to the 40. Down to the 30. 25. Finally gets caught from behind at the 20. And they're going to mark him down at the 19-yard line. Clausen steps up in the pocket. And Will Smith, RIP. And Will Smith, of course, gets that sack. And now it is a field goal opportunity for us. Unfortunately, we did not tie this thing up with a touchdown, but Ward knocks that thing home, and he was another one of our earlier draft picks in part 1. So Clausen with Tom, running out of time, gets pressured by Will Smith. The ball gets tipped up by Jonathan Vilma from the U, makes the pick, and this might be the biggest play of the game. Gets away from Clausen. Stewart is not going to catch him, and that's going to be a pick 6 for Vilma. 21-10, but this is why we got Ted again to answer right back. Gets up to the 20. He's going to cut back at the 30, and he is gone. Get away from the cop speed. He's inside the 20, 10-5. Touchdown. down Panthers, and just like that, it is back to a one-possession game. So we built this defense to make some plays in situations like this. Backup quarterback is in, no Drew Brees. It does not matter. They're going to find Meacham, gets away from one man, gets into the end zone, and now it is 28-16. That's his second touchdown pass. 4th and 5. Clausen looking downfield. Look like he had a man open, but it's going to get batted down at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like we are going to lose our first game of the playoffs. And that's exactly what we do. Sean Payton has been a pain in the Panthers' backside this whole rebuild. Jonathan Vilma, he's player of the game. 2 tackles, 1 INT. 29-16 is your final in this one. So we look at the Super Bowl, and it's not the Saints, but it's the Falcons. The Falcons, they are going to take on the Colts, and the Colts win. Going back to our part 1, the Colts won the Super Bowl last season, and they won the Super Bowl this season. So that's back-to-back Super Bowls for Peyton Manning and the boys right there. And of course, they went to the Super Bowl the year before versus the New Orleans Saints before this game actually came out. So they've been doing their thing, man. So we signed Jimmy Clausen to a huge contract, $90 million over 6 years. He's getting paid. Can I borrow $1? We also re-signed our tight end, and that's basically that. Everybody else that we want to keep is already under contract. This time around, I know we already have a bunch of left outside linebackers, but you know what? I'm just going for the best player available. That's what we're doing right here this year, this time around in the NFL draft. We're not really reaching for needs or anything like that, because we really don't have any needs. We really don't have any holes that we have to fill, so we're really just going for best player available in the draft. So that's what we're doing right here with the free safety. That's Horton. We have this running back on the board right here. We're going to go with him. Again, whoever is on the top of the list, that's basically who we're going after. We're looking at a fullback. I'm like, no, let's look at a tackle. No, the value is not there for the tackle in the 5th round. All those guys were 6th round picks. I'm like, nope, not going to do that. And then we end up taking a safety. So now we're in the 6th round. We're looking at a halfback, and we're going to take Bryant. So now we're in the 7th round, and our last pick, our Mr. Irrelevant, is going to be this tackle who is supposed to go undrafted according to the draft experts. We're going to sign Brian Hoyer because Matt Hasselbeck, he ended up retiring after last season. All right, so updated. Hasselbeck, he's retired. Ted Ginn is still under. He's still under contract, so he's still our punt returner / kick returner. So far this season, we have, kind of struggled. It's 3-2 record, not the best, but you see our man Randall, who we drafted the year before, leading the team in tackles. Beeson, he is 2nd in tackles. You see what Clausen is doing. Our running backs have 2 touchdowns apiece with Williams and, of course, with Stewart. And I actually tried to trade Williams, but there was nobody that really wanted him. So he's still 90 overall, but his contract was ridiculous. And I was worried about signing picks, and I was worried about signing Jimmy Clausen and stuff like that. That was the only reason why I was looking to trade him. I wanted to keep him, so nobody really gave me something that was worth trading him away. I was like, we're going to make the contract situation work. So 24 TDs, 11 interceptions, 7 TDs for our man Jonathan Stewart. Of course, Jimmy Clausen with those 11 picks, but he also had 24 TDs. And you can see the career numbers so far for Clausen. QB rating of 78. He has over 12,000 yards passing, over 88 TDs, and just 58 interceptions in 4 years of work. So for Williams, he's doing his thing. Steve Smith, he is 53 receptions away from getting to that 1,000 reception mark. For the playoff picture, the Colts are the 1 seed. Then you got Denver, Tennessee, San Diego, Miami, and then you have Cleveland. They got the 6th seed at 8-8, and Miami was also 8-8. Seattle, they're the number 1 seed here. We still get a first round bye because we went 12-4 again. The Giants, the Packers, the Saints again. And I'm going to be real with you. I want to face the Saints, man. I want to get my revenge for all the times that they knocked us out of the playoffs. However, I'm not upset that we're taking on another team in the playoffs for the first round. So we're going to be taking on the G-men here. Eli Manning going to find his man. That is the other Steve Smith. Makes the catch, move those chains. Manning with nothing but time in the pocket. Rolls out just because he feels like it. Has time to look over the whole field again. Finds his rookie receiver. Big time first down right there for the Giants. Manning again now inside of our red zone has the boss. And the boss gets the touchdown for the G-men. 7-0, but here comes Jonathan Stewart. This is why we paid you the big bucks, my man. He's going to take that thing coast to coast, touch Touchdown, Panthers. And just like that, this ball game was all tied up at 7 apiece. We stopped them with our defense. We got the ball with 1:37 to go in the second quarter. That pass falls incomplete. We have a man open, but that pass falls incomplete as well. So Manning, he takes over. He's going to throw this one to the flat to Jacobs. He makes a man miss, breaks a tackle, and he's going to rumble, bumble, and stumble his way up to about the 39-yard line. 3rd and 5 from the 44. Manning again with all day, finds Bradshaw, but we put the hit on him, and that pass hits the grass. 1st and 10 now for Clausen over the middle. He's going to find Houston. Nice pass right there out of the gun. Finds the big tight end. That's a big 1st down. Again, out of the gun, we're going to find LaFell over the middle on the slant pattern. Big time catch by him. And now we have it in Giants territory. Under a little bit of pressure, but look how he stands in there, looking down the barrel of the gun and throws a strike. Right here, going to find Edwards. Touchdown, Panthers. And now it is a 13-7 ball game. We're not calling the PAT. 14-7. We take over in the 3rd quarter. We got Steve Smith. And Steve Smith, about to say Steve Smith Sr., but I guess he's not yet the senior just yet. He's going to make a big time catch. But on 3rd and inches, we give the ball to Stewart, but he gets shut down. So Ward with that big time boot knocks home that kick, and now we have a 10-point lead. So Jacobs, he can go up that gut. He gives it to Thomas Davis, just runs him over and picks up a big 1st down. They go with Jacobs again, and Murphy's going to run alongside him as if they're jogging around the lake or whatever it is, and they're going to pick up a big 1st down right there. 3rd and 7. Looks like we had him we had our man in position to make a play on the football, but we just couldn't make that play. 2nd and 7. Going to go over to Bradshaw, says, get off of me. Get off of me again, and gets this one down to the 1, gain of 27. Bradshaw on the toss play. No, son. Randall, our young linebacker, gets in there for the takedown, but then Jacobs takes it right up the gut, right down the middle, and that is going to be a big 1st down. But here comes Jonathan Stewart again. He is going to use that speed inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Panthers. Jonathan Stewart is putting the team on his back. Back to a 10-point lead, 24-10. They're going to find Hicks, makes the catch, steps out of bounds. 2:28 to go. 4th down now for Eli Manning, and he connects the dots. Eli Manning is showing that he is clutch here in the divisional round of the playoffs. Going to find Boss, gets brought down by Beeson. So now it's going to be, and there's an injury on the play, and this guy, Murphy, who just signed, he is out for the rest of the playoffs. So now Chris Gamble, who's our 4th best corner, is now going to step into that nickel back role. But they're going to find Bradshaw in the flat, runs away from Randall, and picks up a 1st down. So it's back to a 3-point game. 24-21. We give the ball to Stewart. He's going to fight his way forward, try to pick up the 1st down, but he is going to be short. 2nd and 10. Manning throws a pick, and Chris Gamble, who is our 4th best corner, now is on nickelback. Is like, nah, I'm still the best corner on the team. Takes that pick 6 to the crib. Touchdown, Panthers. And with Mike Vrabel as our new head coach, we are moving on to the NFC Championship game. Stewart, 10 carries, 181 yards, plus a couple of touchies. 31-21 is the final. Clausen, he did just enough. He protected the football. No interceptions. We can work with that. Okay? We can work with that. Our defense might not be the best, but it's pretty darn good. So like I said, we can definitely work with that. So we got the Colts and the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. If the Broncos win, we might have a Panthers-Broncos Super Bowl. If we can win, and it's kind of close to that year when the Broncos faced the I believe this would have been like Madden, I want to say Madden 15, I want to say. So it would have been a year before the actual Super Bowl between the Broncos and the Panthers. But look at their quarterback, man. They got Kevin Cobb with 29 TDs. Kevin Cobb, lighting up the skies. They also have this rookie running back, Pierre. He is from the Ohio State University, acting like he Ezekiel Elliott or somebody. You ain't that good, bro. But he really is that man. Two carries so far for 27 yards. And they also have Willis McGahee, and McGahee breaking tackles. This 1-2 punch is just as good as beast mode in his prime by himself. I'm telling you. But right here we get a big time interception by Marshall, and we got this thing going back the other way. Didn't know if I caught the ball in the end zone or out of the end zone, so I didn't want to risk getting a safety, so I just took it out. We can get the ball to Jonathan Stewart, who rumbles, bumbles, stumbles his way for a big 1st down. Let's go, Panthers. We get the ball to Williams, and Williams is showing that he still has something left in the tank. Picks up a nice gain of 19. Clausen, start the second quarter. We're going to find Houston, our big tight end, another first down on this drive. Dropping back the pass, stepping up in the pocket, going to find Steve Smith between the safety and the corner in that cover 2 defense, and that's going to lead to a big first down. 3rd and 16, we pick up about 12, so got to settle for a field goal. Kick is up, kick is good, but we score the first points of this championship game. But there goes Pierre. He goes right up the gut. That hole up the middle was huge, to say the least. 2nd and 13, Cobb over the middle. He's going to find Dickerson, and Dickerson, he's going to get this one up to the 50-yard line. 3rd and 10 now from the 50. Cobb with nothing but time. Beeson is giving chase. He puts a hit on him, but not until he finds Holder, and that is going to be a first down inside the Panthers red zone. Cobb with time has a man wide open. That's Holder in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Seattle, and they take a 7-3 lead. But Clausen comes right back in to find our big tight end. Huge hit over the middle. That is our man, Earl Thomas, with a big time hit. Going over the middle again, and Earl Thomas is there for another huge hit. Maybe not the biggest hit, but he's able to stop the tight end in the stretch where we pick up a big first down. So we get sacked right there. 3rd and 17. We're probably still in field goal range, but I want to make sure that we knock this one home, so we get a little bit closer. Big time grab right there by Steve Smith. This is a chip shot. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So it's 7-6 going into halftime, but Seattle are going to get the ball first to start the second half. Well, they stopped us, so technically they didn't get the ball first, but for the video, they got the ball first. They're going to find their tight end over the middle. They're going to find TJ, who's your mama? TJ Hushmanzada over the middle, big time catch, and then Perry from Ohio State takes it to the end zone. 14-6. We got to come back in the worst one. We got Jonathan Stewart. And Jonathan Stewart on the screen pass. And Jonathan Stewart going to use that speed. Represent the Northwest, because you know that he went to Oregon University. Represent those Ducks. Gets it to the end zone. Touchdown Panthers. We're going to go for 2. DeAngelo Williams, he's in the game because you know Stewart is gassed after taking that ball from coast to coast. And we have now tied this thing up at 14-all. Pierre, the second-year halfback, breaks one tackle. Finally gets brought down at the 45-yard line. They give the ball to Willis McGahee on 3rd and 2, and he is denied. So they're going to have to settle for a field goal. The kick is up, and the kick is good with 3:14 to go in this one. We have got to tie this ball game up if you want to have a chance. Stewart, he takes it to the right side. He's in Seattle territory. Earl Thomas pushes him out of bounds. Big first down. Clausen with time can go over the middle on 3rd and 13. Caught by Steve Smith, but short of the first down. So you have to try a 55-yarder. The kick is up, and the kick is good. He could have hit that from 65 yards out. That kid has a boot. A minute 52 to go in this one. The game is tied. Gonna find Pierre out of the backfield. Gets away from Beeson. Gets away from another man, and finally falls down at the 44-yard line. So here goes Cobb. Cobb's gonna make one man miss. He's gonna outrun Beeson, and now they're in field goal range. But for whatever reason, Seattle decides to keep on running the football. They're not gonna take their time. I was hoping that we would just let him score right there, but our defense gets a stop. Can we get another stop? No, he gets into the end zone with 48 seconds to go, and we have one timeout, down by 7. 39 seconds to go. Clausen under pressure. He goes down. 3rd and 16 now. We still have our timeout. Clausen going over the middle. That gets batted away. Nearly intercepted. 4th and 16. Still have one timeout. Going to the best player on the team as far as receivers go. And he makes the catch. Steve Smith comes up big. It is now 10 seconds left in the ball game. 1st and 10. And Houston drops it. So we can go right back to him. Our star tight end makes the catch, and we fall into the end zone. This game is going to overtime. Let's go. Big time catch right there. He dropped it on the first one. We went right back to him. Touchdown Panthers. So we have the new rules, or the current rules, for the overtime period. So they had to score a touchdown. They have a man wide. That's not even wide open. That's Jordy Nelson. And he's their 3rd best receiver on the team. Makes a huge catch right there. 2nd and 2. Jordy Nelson. Again, this time we stopped him short. So it's 3rd and 1. We stop him. We get the ball. But there goes McGahee breaking tackle after tackle. And he is gone. And that's going to wrap up the NFC Championship game. It was a fantastic game, a fantastic playoff run. Unfortunately, we came up on the short end of the stick. Our boys played well on both sides of the ball. Their ground game was just too too much. Jimmy Clausen, again, played pretty well, man. Really can't complain about his performance. He had 2 TDs, no interceptions. He played phenomenal football throughout the whole playoffs, really throughout this whole rebuild, if you will. Steve Smith, we tried, Steve. We tried. I did another rebuild back in like Madden 05 with the Giants. We signed Steve Smith, and we did get him a Super Bowl trophy with that rebuild, so go check that one out if you want to. So 13-3 takes on 13-3, and the Colts win 3 straight Super Bowls in a row, going back to part 1, 35-21 over the Seahawks. Well, that's going to wrap this one up. I already have one planned for tomorrow, but please let me know what you want to see for another rebuild down in the comment section below. I hope that you enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed bringing it to you, and I do hope that the rest of your day is the best of your day. And until next time, peace.